Hi all, Deb here from the Divine Plan Project. We're on Monday the 19th of May and we have at least one being who has a message for you, for us. And so I thought I would sit down and bring it through to you now. So bear with me one moment as I drop into channel and allow this being to come through. And this being is Isis. Greetings, welcome, and thank you for joining us. We have much information to share with you. For context, we have had plans in motion and underway for millennia. We have come to the time that those plans are now relevant. I am here to bring you context. There is much for us to share with you over the coming time period, for there is much happening in your world. Many, many events are at play. Let us make you aware that we have planned for best possible outcomes for all of humanity and all souls in all forms, from all places within the cosmos that you currently reside within. We have been making plans, for there has been much turbulence throughout time. There have been many, what you would colloquially say, close calls. There have been many times that we have been concerned about one type of being or another within the cosmos. For when there is free will for all, when nothing is off the table, out of bounds, off limits, things can sway wildly and drastically for the better or for the worse. We are always here, we, the elders, those souls who have been witness, who have been part of the consciousness of reality of humanity for millennia. We are always watching. We are always seeking ways to help. But you must understand your own sovereignty. You have choices about what it is that you do, which advice you heed and pay attention to, and which you allow to fall on your own deaf ears. That is for those of you who seek our knowledge at all. As you would understand in these more current times, our wisdom is not sought quite as often as it was in the past. And so we give you context about who we are and why we have been. There are those, always, within communities, the elders, the wise, who have been sought after. We are they as well, exemplified and raised up to the status of gods and goddesses. We were simply the wise ones, each of us having our own specialties of wisdom, our own specialties that we were sought for And in our time, when we were at the peak and forefront of being sought after, there was no right or wrong in terms of how many beings one could choose to seek wisdom from. We did not expect complete loyalty, for how could one be the expert on all things? Yes, some of us held great stores of knowledge and shared greatly with our followers, those who sought to learn from us. But there was no disloyalty. When beings sought wisdom and assistance or support or knowledge from others, there was a great variety of beings to learn from. This has all changed over time. And you see now in many of these organized schools of thought called religions or philosophies, there is not such a great offering of multiple beings to seek wisdom, assistance, or information from. Omniscience, the One, is what is often held forth. One then commits oneself to loyalty to the One that they choose to follow, to worship. There is often a void, for when one prays or asks for the information, their ears and their hearts are not always ready to receive. Often, the intuitive capabilities necessary to communicate with those of us that are not in and of the flesh at this point in time, those capabilities are often pushed away, said to be a poor choice to utilize, and instead one is left to float their wishes and desires for information and knowledge upwards and wait for what they believe are being gifted their requests in the forms of signs or outcomes. This was not the way in our times, and we understand the void that this can leave. For what would a human think if they have asked for assistance, wisdom, information, or outcomes that appear to go unanswered? For the human has not been taught to utilize their inner ears, their heart song. They have not been taught to connect, to communicate. They have been not taught to read the signs or hear the voices that whisper within them. Unfulfillment, discouragement, and a feeling of unworthiness are some of the responses to what seems to be the void in receiving what has been requested. We say to you, this is not your fault. You are abiding, or many of you are often abiding, by a system which seems to leave you in a position of being disempowered. We can tell you without doubt those that you pray to would happily and merrily enter into a conversation with you if only you had the ears to hear, if only you felt worthy of such. Some of you are in the fortunate position to have such strong intuition that you do hear. And for the others that do not, they wonder, are you better than them? Are they missing something? Have they not been good enough? Have they not earned what it is that they have asked for? And so you can see yourselves living in a world fraught with differing opinions about what exists and what does not exist, and about what is allowed and what is not allowed, when really it is all on offer to you. We are all still here. We still work on your behalf. We are still here to guide you. Those that you place your faith in, they are there too. We ask you to recognize and understand you are all worthy. We are entering a time where there is going to be great change, and you are already in some areas experiencing this great change. For some, it will be frightening. And for some, they will wish they had faith. For others, they will hold tightly to their faith, but wish they had context, they had answers. For yet others, they are in the unfortunate situation that when things befall them, they believe they are not the chosen. They believe themselves to be less than. We are here to tell you, and we will continue to tell you, time and time again, if you come back to learn with us, from us, you do not lack. The fact that you are here now, the fact that you were granted entry into this lifetime, into this episode of your humanity, is proof of your worth. For if you believe in the Omni-Creator, the One, then would that one allow those who were unworthy entry? We understand you believe worth is based upon goodness of behavior. And yes, of course, self-worth can be gleaned, can be assessed based on what one contributes and whether one creates positivity or negativity, of course. But let us tell you, your Creator believes in you, in your worthiness, as do we. Those who've been appointed throughout the millennia as counsel, as teachers, as the wise ones. We believe in all of you. We believe each of you has the capacity to learn, to grow. You are all worthwhile of our investment. I hope that my words today have given you some context about what is occurring and why there is so much despair, despondency. For when one is not taught to utilize all available resources, one can feel lack. One can feel that their prayers go unanswered. We wish to empower you to understand you are not unworthy, and you have the capability to garner your answers, not only yourselves through deep connection with your own soul, but from those wise elders, teachers, prophets, messiahs, gods, goddesses, demigods, and the rest. Utilize the wisdom on offer and know we believe you deserve the information and assistance that you require, now more than ever. Thank you, Deb here. Just releasing Isis. Thanks for listening and for tuning in. And if you enjoyed Isis's messages, share, subscribe, and set yourself up to receive notifications of further channels. We had some really a great team meeting this morning with some of the beings that we work with in spirit, and they said that they are going to be sharing information now virtually nonstop. There will be new channels coming regularly as they begin to explain the other side. They know there are plenty here explaining what's going on around the world. They're going to be explaining what goes on in the spirit world to you. Thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.